Why have you got a pimp cane?
Oh, yeah. Should I explain this?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Jerry Stiller. And this aluminum pole is to represent the Festivus for the rest of us. Now, we should really, if we were really paying homage to the great legend of Seinfeld, who sadly passed away, we should do the feats of strength, which is we all talk about our grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people, and I'm going to let you know. And then you have to pin each other on the floor, and then the winner wins. But maybe it's a bit early in our career.
Physically pin someone.
Yeah. That's the feats of strength. But maybe it's a bit early in that.
No, let's do it. No. You've got the rod. You tell us what issues you have.
We're not going to wrestle
How
yet.
are you like the...
Dude, I'd really like to know that. I'd really like to know. Not me. I can't take criticism, Will, but with Ali, what you're doing.
No. Look,
Is this too slack to say, how are you the least talented Stiller when Ben Stiller is in your family?
Or wait.
Dude.
What? The least.
When do you come? It's so weird how you come out with these like.
I'm
tough
sorry.
and fair,
I really want to whack you over the head with this. Right?
No. Like he's entitled to his opinion. It's always shocking to me when Ali says something like that. Or like,
all right, the poll's going away. You made me sad.
This is a little sizzle for his.
The poll's over.
No. Come on, we're doing it.
So is he just famous for Seinfeld, or has he done something?
Look, I don't actually know if he's. I don't know. Look,
then what's the point of like holding that thing if you don't even know who he is properly?
Damn, always coming out with a hardcore, like, the only good show ever made was a show that was filmed in VHS where the music went like this. Diddling ding ding, diggy ding ding, diddling ding ding. Like,
Everybody
sorry for celebrating one of the greatest shows of all time with one of the best comedians of all time. I'm not having this bullshit nitpicking like, well, but just a little bit. Dude, here's the counter argument. I challenge you to look at a picture of Ben Stiller's dad's face and not be on the floor laughing. That's all I have to say.
He's got you there, Ali.
Yeah, all right, I take it back. Apparently, I'm getting a lot of hate for that comment.
Yeah,
really?
God,
Yeah,
thank you,
dude,
people.
This is not
All
a
right,
good
what
idea.
about this? Let's see if this one gets hate.
Including
Ben Stiller has 2 good movies.
That's
Q. Let's see
Zoolander
what
1, Zoolander 2.
Jesus,
True?
Ali.
False?
I mean,
No.
I don't know a lot of his movies. I just like
your taste in
Seinfeld.
Western media.
What, are you going to say Meet the Parents or something?
Huh?
Are you...
Meet the Fuck?
No, it's
you
Meet
like
the Fockers, obviously. No, it's that and Tropic Thunder. And Tropic Thunder was half an hour too long.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're having this, like, really... Why are we taking
View.
the Steelers because his dad's dead?
Yeah, that's really mean. Why is
it's
it
too
so...
slack. Let's not do it. Let's not. I'm
No,
sorry.
no. Hate. Give
I
the
take
hate
back
to
my
this
comment.
man. Give the hate to this
Mitch,
guy.
No. Here's my issue with you, Ali.
gonna
You
be-
pussy out.
The feats of strength. This is it. How ironic. He's...
All right, fine. Okay, I guess that's my punishment. What am I supposed to do?
I hate the fact that you smell like preserved meat.
Harsh but fair.
A lot of the times I think, does this man just like shit out cabinets?
Oh!
Come out like it's one of those things. Really, your blood's hollandaise sauce.
It's true.
Yeah,
My stomach
your
is...
intestines are those sausages that you see hanging in a deli.
I'll take that.
All right, okay.
Isn't that what sausages are?
No, dude.
Fair enough. Aren't they Miss Love's intestines?
Okay, so look, I feel really bad about that comment.
Don't
I know, I'm still
backtrap.
in
It's
my head,
okay.
but
You'll get enough
As a
hate.
punishment, let's do that pinning down thing. What was that shit?
You two have to wrestle. That's it.
No.
Why me?
Well, I don't want to wrestle.
Okay,
Can't
let's
we
just drop
smack
it.
Ali with this
That's
stick?
not how it works. Give it here.
You snooze, you
Let's just
lose.
break his glass.
Give me the rod.
Don't spank me.
Anyways, that's what this is for. But the important thing is we got through the segment without the ad, but we're still here. So, yeah, look, let's be honest. By episode 8, we might have an ad. Anyway, thanks for tuning in.
All right,
If
let's...
you were to shill a product, what is your favorite commercial item?
Hollandaise sauce.
Nobby's underwear.
Damn, that is Desperate Ali.
No, it's
that was
funny.
a real try.
Doing
for a
an
plug there.
underpants ad is funny as. I'll do it for free. I'll pay you to do it.
Pat Raff.
Tell you what's awesome, and I was really on the verge of firing my booking manager when she told this down. She said to me that like a hentai game wanted to advertise with me, and we were both laughing at it, and she was like, so of course I said no. I was so outraged.
Why?
Because that's the perfect ad.
I understand.
Oh my god.
I know.
I agree. Hentai isn't hentai what? Hentai
This is just a new segment I've come up with, dropping the ball.
It-
That was the what the
People that have
hell
let-
was that?
people that have let
that
you
was
down.
the easiest underarm toss, and for you to go,
This is ridiculous. I'm pissed off at her now.
yeah.
Are you as
No, you've
angry
let
as I
the
was
team
when
down.
you paid out Cherry?
What?
Dude, enough. Seinfeld was okay.
Thank God there's people that can comment. Bring it on, guys. Just all to him. Both of them.
No, I don't think they're that much.
No,
I think
they're
this
not.
is really weird. We are just in a bubble.
What are they saying?
They're saying Everybody Loves Raymond is better.
Thank you.
I
very much for-
paraphrased.
yes.
I paraphrased. I didn't actually
The
read
truth
that,
is
but
out.
it's true. Can we-
Jeez, I bet you that's just at the bottom of the Area 51 bunker. Ali was right.
Dude, more realistic is Ray Romano being like, let me out of here. Come on, I'm hungry, man.
Yes.
Oh, guys, I've done my time. I already signed the deal with the devil. The show's over. Come on, let me out.
Yeah.
That's actually good, Mislav. Spot on. Okay, so I feel like this is one of the segments that was recommended to us. I have a feeling we've done this before. What was in your lunchbox at school?
Yeah, I like it.
We've done
Salted meat.
Dude, let's just get mine
Yeah.
right. No, let's just get mine right out of
Salted meats, and in your lunchbox was a butler asking, what would you like?
No, that's why I'm saying I feel like we've done this before because
these hands.
I feel like I've told this story before. One time.
No, it's not the one time. It's what's your average lunch? We have done the one time.
Oh yeah, okay.
Dickhead.
Oh, average. Okay, average, yeah. Mine would have been, yeah. Yeah, salted meats, I guess.
You know what?
Oh my God, Miss Love.
What?
Stop being such a wog. I don't get it. Like,
do you mean?
what is good about it?
About what?
This is food that people on the First Fleet ate. You do realize that.
Dude.
It's preserved meat.
Dude,
You don't have to preserve. You've got a fridge.
I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Haven't you figured that out yet?
Dude, I have.
Fuck. How dark was the Soviet Union?
Very. I have a perfectly cromulent response to that.
Go ahead. And thank you for using that perfectly cromulent word.
At any opportunity I have. I am known quite regularly. Shout out to Mum because I probably got it from her because she does it too. To eat salt on its own. So obviously I'm gonna not mind, a
Wait, what,
piece of
you like-
cardboard that's salty. There's
You?
texture. I'll eat salt on its own, like
Well,
pink
like a
Himalayan-
deer.
Yes, like a little thing of pink Himalayan salt. Like, yeah, it's salty.
I don't understand why you eat like a sea sponge, Miss Love. Every time I've ever seen you, it's just like a little, oh, that's delish. And you're the only man I've ever met that likes tapas. And it's little nibbles of all these different flavors.
Yeah, I am like
yes,
that.
There's another air particle and another particle.
As long as it's not brioche bun.
Oh yeah,
Mislav's on
I hate
board.
brioche. But yeah, dude, my whole thing is just like, yeah, dude, I'm
crazy. So,
I'm
like-
still finishing my thistles. Like, I really like. What's the thing where
Salt.
Lisa's like licking the moss on a rock? That sounds awesome. But what was in your lunchbox? Peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah. How did you know?
It's
Uh,
you.
Yeah, that's pretty much me. It's just the
Or
most
it's-
plain
it's-
tasting food. And you know what else? After a while, I realized that wasn't plain enough. So I went straight to just a bread roll.
Fuck.
And that was it.
So
And then
rough.
for recess, all of the times it was, and shout out for this because it's such an underrated snack. And then the older I got, the more I realized this was bullshit. But I remember it on Better Homes and Gardens, them saying that, did you know you can put peanut butter on celery and you've got a healthy snack?
Yeah.
No, you don't, because it's filled with peanut butter. And on top of
Isn't
that,
peanut butter healthy?
No.
you fucking idiot.
Dude, Joe Rogan told me it was good for you.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, maybe organic, the organic shit where they don't put like fat
Dude,
in it.
maybe
No,
don't
okay.
trust a druggo who has brain damage.
Apparently, okay, guys, listen. I feel like you're a little outdated with your information.
Maybe.
New research says butter is good for you.
Oh, I have heard this. But the science, is it dubious? That sounds really wrong. In fact,
I am just expecting a tub of butter to run out with those legs. You better run butter.
those eggheads at the dairy thingy got to you too.
There's no way butter's good for you.
There's no way.
Well, no, look, I think what they figured out is like vegetable oil is way worse.
What?
And animal fat
Oh,
is
as
apparently
in, I
good
can't
for you.
believe it's not butter is worse than butter.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Oh, well, that's probably...
It's way worse than butter because they
you can
artificially
tell.
like make it go through a process to make it look like
Yeah,
butter.
but everyone knew that
It's
already, didn't they? Isn't that like
I don't know, maybe.
margarine?
No, because everyone assumed because of how how vitalized Fabio looked in the 90s, that just kind of went off there. It was just being like, well, he is buff. I think that's how it works.
Damn.
Because still to this day, my parents buy margarine.
That's-
And why?
Yeah, my parents.
They didn't grow up in World War II, so there's no reason.
Yeah,
When
margarine is not
They
good.
were young when they were in their early 20s. The fad was that margarine is healthy for you.
Yeah?
But
Yeah, because
what-
you never grow out of it.
But what do you say?
Whatever we're like doing now, actually, whatever we did
Yes,
5
this
years
reminds
ago.
me a lot of the fact, guys, dig this. Miss Love just found out 2 days ago that milk isn't good for you.
No, that's not true. I knew it. No, it's not. It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Don't make me out to be a liar here.
I'm not saying you're a liar. I'm just saying you're maybe blowing it out of proportion. I always knew it was bad for you. I just sort of nonchalantly, half-assedly sort of, I took it in my subconscious. I'm like, yeah, I saw that somewhere. But then all I needed was Tony Robbins to be like, it gives you mucus and you want allergies? Then drink milk. And also, it was just sold because there was an excess post-World War II in heaps of factories in America. So you shouldn't drink that stuff. And like anything he says, I'm just like, oh my God.
That last World War II surplus of milk is your equivalent of opening up a Tooheys bottle cap and learning trivia from it. You love that fact.
I like
And so do I, I've got to
imagery of
say.
it.
Huh?
I like the imagery of it.
Yeah.
It's neat.
Wait, are we?
It's a
are we
scary
now saying
thought,
milk
seeing
is
this
bad?
huge-
Milk is...
But I recently found that out. Why are you pretending that that's conventional wisdom? When I was a
I think
kid,
everyone knows that. Quote, I told my brother, I said, hey, dude, did you know... No, I said something like, hey, dude, you shouldn't drink milk. And quote, his response was, dude, I know I haven't drank milk in years. I'm not a boomer. And
I don't know what that look.
The mouth on these kids.
Yeah, put him to like tame that little boy.
But it is, yeah. I mean, I think it's just like a universal. Everyone knows that now, right? That milk is bad for you.
No,
Yeah.
not everyone does. Not in Pakistan, dude. I remember
Yeah.
as a kid, they were like, "It's the
They still
healthiest
think
thing
that
ever."
cigarettes are good for your lungs.
Well, the doctors recommended ones.
Yeah,
are.
see.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
So what? Like,
The only reason that
Dude, I am
cigarettes
not
are
even-
banned in any offices in Pakistan is because the smell is bad, That
Dude, this
beer.
is
Oh my God.
legitimately a true story. For all those that wanted Tales of Pakistan, I finally remembered one more.
dude, put it in there because they're asking for it.
Well, I remember my drive. Again, it's gonna sound horrible, but my driver, he came to me once. I
Own
know.
it.
Dude,
Here
can
we
we
go.
get past
Own
the
it.
fact that there was a driver? Okay,
And I
so
locked him in a cupboard for 3 weeks.
How is the fact that,
That
wait a second. How is the fact
that
that
was a deep.
the fact that you had a driver is horrible, but you paid out Jerry Stiller and that's not horrible? Come on, having a driver's mad.
Dude, Jerry, whatever his name is, Jerry
Stiller.
Stiller, yeah, Ben Stiller's dad was an extremely rich man. He lived till he was in his 90s. That's a good life.
Yeah, but
My
but
driver-
You also had a good life because you had a driver.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's cool.
That's not the point. The point was he came
And
to
how
me
weird
once.
would it be if you went to Pakistan and saw his driver and it's Ryan Gosling?
I don't carry a gun.
Dude, you
I
know
don't
how
hold
he
down
got
the deal.
fired?
I drive.
Sorry,
I just
okay.
want to go to school.
He wasn't.
I'll
he
be
wasn't
waiting
too
on the
far
corner of the
from
kebab
it.
shop.
If you're not in there at 5, I'm gone.
Yeah. I'll be on the corner of Alibaba's. I got 5 minutes. In that window, I'm yours. Anything
You know what's
out of that, I'm
amazing?
gone.
He would not get any work in Pakistan because they'd just be like, the mouth on this driver. Have you?
Dude, he basically was Ryan Gosling because, like, as a side story, this is why he got fired.
Sorry to keep interrupting.
One day,
Shit.
my mom gets a call from one of the other guys, one of the other servants, and he says, "Oh, that driver, he came in and he did a lot of work." Mom was like, "What do you mean he did a lot of work?" The cook was too afraid to say exactly. He apparently brought in like 2 whores.
To what?
two prostitutes.
Wars.
And you're saying this guy had a bad
And he
life?
had an orgy in my room.
Yeah! Take it all.
But I wasn't there. I was in Malaysia at the time. Yeah.
That is a funny story, man.
Because the house was almost always empty. All the boys had left to like different countries.
Bad life. That's incredible. He was Ryan Gosling. That's amazing.
Yeah, Ali, you got to admit, it gets worse. I think my life is worse.
Yeah, mine too.
Trade.
So how did they find out
Oh, because the other servants told on him.
that they snitched on him?
They snitched on him.
that's
Because apparently,
What's the servant code?
That's true as a
because
code.
apparently he didn't allow them to partake, which I found out later.
Can you imagine if they all were in on it? Oh man, that's so funny.
Oh yeah, and I can't imagine like how much those poor prostitutes were paid.
Did you burn
That
the
guy
bed?
was
Did you,
broke.
Did you get a new bed?
Was this
He
$5?
sold the house, I think, because of that.
Ass. Was this that?
Yeah, well, it probably was $5.
$5 for 5 ass
$5
prostitutes.
5 ass. Like it's the base.
$1.
The guy with the
Now that's value.
Yeah, it is.
Dome
Jesus.
King gold.
Miss, would you do that for the meme?
What? Oh, what, $1 prostitute? Yeah. I mean, do what? What do you mean specifically?
Would you hire one?
Well, yeah, I'd hire one, but I don't know if I'd do anything. It really.
Yeah,
How rough are we talking here?
Okay,
How rough are we talking?
Basically, just like a biggie, you just give it for that. But the thing is,
Yeah.
like,
Hang
I don't
out
know.
with
I don't
me.
know. I've just
No, keep your pants on. Yeah.
I can't do anything sex worker related. I'd feel too uncomfortable in the situation.
Well, not in Pakistan.
For
because of-
selfish purposes of just being like, well, it's kind of awkward, you know.
Yeah, but more
That's
so.
it.
Wait, because it's $1? What if it was $2?
No, it's not
Then
the
it's
price.
okay.
It's not the price. Even if you got like a discount one of like some Victoria's Secret model that I assume Leonardo DiCaprio has.
Yeah.
I still couldn't do it.
Oh,
Too
no.
weird, just that little bit in between of just like, so you're the person I'm having sex with. Duh. Okay, well, let's do
No, I could do that. But I could do that. But I just.
Dude, that's his fantasy.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's like it's like is this a snuff film? That's what the cameras are here. No, but like I just
what a way to go out.
I just feel like I couldn't do that. Like I would
Wait,
feel
what couldn't you do?
I couldn't do that in like for instance I couldn't do that in like Thailand and Bali. Like it's always really it's something really insidious about like a Western white guy with some like like basically like what do you call them like.
Asians?
No, but what are they like
Yeah,
lady
that's the
boys,
word.
lady boy or whatever?
Oh,
in
well, you
Thailand.
don't have to go for those.
No, but even a non-lady boy, I just feel like this is. I feel like I'm like taking advantage. Do you know what I mean? And in Pakistan, you'd be like, I don't know your customs. You probably have a lot of STIs.
Yeah, well,
I'm out. You know what? I think most people in the West would have that opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm almost certain Russell Brand would not. He'd be like, all right, okay, what a bargain.
Oh, absolutely.
do you know?
Put this in me ass.
Hey, just this again.
Can
Sorry.
you crawl in there?
Oh,
While
also,
we're on
have you
the
ever heard of Buddha?
topic, do you remember my friend Usman, who we met while we were in Pakistan? He told me this story, true story again.
What's his name? Guzman.
Guzman Gomez.
Damn.
Last name Gomez.
He invented it.
The more you know, huh?
Invented horrible tasting burritos. But he was telling me that he was.
you can imagine he would have.
He was like
that bad.
really, really horny. He hadn't had sex in probably a year, and he was driving really late on one of the roads. You know which one it is, but you wouldn't know the name. Anyway, so he saw a prostitute that was just standing over there. So he had that moment of like, yeah, let's check out what the deal is over here. So he stopped his car. And he was telling me that while he was discussing pricing arrangements with her, he noticed her Adam's apple was resting on his window.
What? God.
And I asked him, so what did you do? He's like, look, I'm going to be honest. You're my friend. I considered that shit. Anyway, he got freaked out and he drove off after that. But that's what you got to do, man.
God.
I like how every moment of the upper class's life in Pakistan is a sitcom. There's a reason that he doesn't like Seinfeld, and it's tame in comparison.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's tame in comparison to the everyday life. There.
So it really, like, you can say that about Ali, that when he's trashing Ben Stiller's dad, I think he's earned the right.
Yeah, maybe.
His antics are tame.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, his driver had an orgy in his bed. I mean, like, dude,
I know. I mean, come on, if that sound effect isn't called for. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh my God, Kramer! Yeah, dude.
Well, so I guess that was the Tales of
You
Pakistan.
said
instead-
giddy up in my bed.
Oh my God.
Watch
yeah.
in my should I just say like what was in my lunchbox?
Yeah, yeah.
we
Did we
move
finish?
on?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah, you guys making me.
Oh, and
feel
also I
bad.
got to put this out: space food sticks. Anyone? No, they
Hell
tasted
yeah.
like shit. Absolutely.
Yeah, but they were cheap.
Wait,
so
what
they
was-
taste
Yeah,
good as
no,
a
no.
result.
And they looked like a chocolate bar, so you could imagine it.
Would they survive in?
What was school? Prison?
Oh, kind of. I actually kind of.
Would they actually survive in space?
What?
Maybe, yeah. I think
What?
space food bars would survive in space because they're just
No,
deep.
they were. They were designed for. Yes, they absolutely.
Actually, they were, weren't
and they
they?
were used.
They were
That's why
used
they
for
were called
that.
space
Yeah, yeah.
food sticks.
But they-
it's
you
not
know-
a market.
Why are you eating it? on,
Cocoa
like-
Pops has 5 essential vitamins and minerals.
I kind of like space food bars though. I kind of like space
Dude,
food
we've
bars.
determined like you would like anything. You like salt on its own.
True, dude. I'm not
You're
a
crazy.
good metric.
Yeah,
I'll eat-
that's
I'd
right.
eat this
You're
shit.
a fan of everything.
I am. I
You're a
am.
fan of Waves' new album.
Yeah. I don't like You're Welcome, but by golly, I'll listen to it weekly. Fucking masochist. No, it's
Go on,
true.
Ali. Tell us what was in
what'd
your
you have?
lunch.
Well, it was one of these three things.
Meat
It
and
was
a
a
sword.
common occurrence. So if my mum was making the lunch, or if my cook was doing it, it would be one of the either it'll be like 2 toasts with like last night's curry in between.
Okay, that sounds horrible.
I'm into it.
Dude,
but yeah.
as a year 5 student, it was very, very horrible.
Yeah,
I wanted like
exactly.
burgers and shit.
Yeah.
Or you would have 2 toasts with a fried egg inside of it that you would press and the yolk would spill all over you.
That's so weird.
And you liked that?
No,
Dude, what should-
hated both of those things. I did like when my dad was in charge because you'd open the lunchbox and it would just be 100 rupees inside of it.
Hell
That's-
yeah.
That was my
That
mum.
was mad.
Now that's a lunch.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
lunch.
My mum gave me the pimp lunches with like, oh, and here's $20 because you know to spoil yourself, and it was like I'd won the lotto. And my dad's was the classic curry paste on rolled up bread in a wine bag. Thanks, Dad. But
Dude, was
yeah.
it like appropriate to take a wine bag with you?
Not really.
No,
Well,
no, it wasn't.
it wasn't.
it wasn't performing
was,
arts. It was kooky.
Yeah, but I think that the only reason you weren't called into the principal's office is because the teacher on duty was just thinking about how he could sneak having a smoke. That was
Yeah.
about it. Like, you would have gone to like the psychologist. For
Yeah,
that.
that's true. The
And
counselor.
rightfully so, it's clearly scarred you. I still think about that to this
I
day.
do.
Just being like, it wasn't even Patex.
Yeah, because like 15 kids were going, "Bah," and I distinctly.
And I think I was one of them.
You were.
Maybe I threw sand in his eyes. as
I
well.
distinctly remember it. It was one of the thing where everyone was like, you're laughing at me. And it was one of those things where I was trying to clamor over the comments, being like, well, actually, no, I have had other lunches in the past. And I was just drowned out. So I just gave up and was like, I'll do what every self-respecting man would do. Take
Kill
a bite of that shit and throw the rest away.
Why would you take a bite?
Because I was hungry. Such a single dad thing to do.
Boy.
Such a single dad thing. It's classic. But what a story too, you know.
Right, it's
And then
so
always,
good.
and then
You did this to me.
Nikolov expired shrimp sold. Yeah, those were time. They were.
Yeah, man. Look, have you been in that situation before, Ali, where virtually everyone in the school is laughing at you, and there's no comeback to that?
You can't.
No. But you know, well,
nothing.
everyone has.
What do you do in that
No,
situation?
this is-
You have to play into it.
I know
That's it.
You just have to. Yeah, you have to just.
You have to just take it.
Give up.
No,
give
you
up.
guys are
Leave your body
rookies.
astral project.
There's a way out.
What?
Shit your
Pick
pants.
on someone that is even lower on the social ladder.
He's got it. He's
And then
done it.
everyone starts laughing
Actually,
at that guy.
probably
That
right.
was my
Yeah.
talent.
That's-
As soon as it got on to me.
Nicholas, how many times did you save our ass? Yeah, that's how you do it.
Oh right, did you just make
Yeah,
it
you
up?
just, yeah. I'm not going to say the name of the guy.
Well, yeah,
'Cause I
that-
bet you he's probably watching this now and being like, I thought we were friends.
Yeah.
But rest assured, we weren't.
You know what's
No, that was you're like playing 4D chess here. Good call. But yeah,
That's not sad. What actually, I don't know. Have you met one of your teachers recently? Anyone?
No, not recently.
I had the weirdest experience when I went with Jordan to Pakistan. One of these guys who was like the discipline head, he started talking to me on Facebook and it got really weird. And eventually, Like, I thought he was hitting on me at one point, but then I realized he's not hitting on me. He wants to be friends.
That's all right. Like, we had friends.
No, that
friends
is
with some
not okay.
teachers. Were we? I've got Mr.
Well, there was those teachers where you're like, oh, Mr. Sotheby, he's mad.
Well, I've got-
Why?
I've still-
Because he rock climbs.
I've still got exactly. I've still got Mr. Stone on my Facebook friends.
Oh, but does he like chat?
Wow, now
with
that
you?
is a blast from the past. I have not thought about Mr. Stone
Yeah.
in years.
A
That
religious
was
science
in
teacher.
Harry Potter, that teacher that is a ghost that everyone hates taking their course. That's him.
He wouldn't.
I've really blown the cover now. He
wouldn't
was
be
definitely watching.
I'll give him props. He was a very sweet guy, but I didn't do much science. So, but yeah, look,
Didn't you study science though, like biology?
yeah, I did do biology.
forced.
I was forced, but who was the biology teacher? It was that one that's just like. It was that teacher that's just like, I'm half deaf, so you can say really screwed up shit behind my back.
Wow, that was great.
There's always one. But I always wondered.
Definitely broke the world record for the game penis in that.
That was it. We all just used to be like, and so I was just wondering, like, for question 5, penis, would there be, and then
Yeah, you didn't even have to do that stupid strategy of going like, penis. And it's like, that doesn't count. You didn't say the P.
dude, it was literally
said
8
enos.
penises.
That's a
and she'd
name.
just been like, what's so funny? And we're like, nothing, penis. And she'd be like, good. Come on now. Like, yeah, dude, our school, for all its shortcomings, was funny. I mean, all high schools in Australia.
Do you think
are
she
funny.
actually couldn't hear, or she was just pretending not to hear
Dude,
after a point?
No, she genuinely couldn't.
Why would she pretend? That, like, no.
Because you don't want to go through the whole hassle of
yes,
like.
she did.
No,
believe
because
me.
you'd just be explaining quite loudly something, and then she go, "What?" So that's
Believe
not,
me, dude. That was her like, like her passion was being like, I caught ya, penis boy. Come with me.
All right, well, we're gonna, like we always do for the podcast, we're gonna go from first gear to fifth gear, and let's talk about
Yeah, listen to that baby lurch.
post-COVID economy.
Yeah.
I kind of want
Oh,
to
that
take
one.
Jordan's
Right.
perspective on it as well, but I think it's really, it's one of those questions that was asked, but I want to really, really talk about this because what's about to follow is, after all of these restrictions are left, the government is going to talk to you about how cutting down NDIS and other like sort of welfare payments is really important because of the public debt.
The,
You know what this footage will
the
be?
what
though?
government?
This will be like when you go back and you watch CNBC from 2008 during the crash, and it's like, I'm telling you, in 2015, oil will be $2 a barrel. We're done. This will be that. It won't exactly pan out like this. So let's just give ourselves this little breathing space of saying this is our predictions.
Yeah,
Who do you reckon's going to win the grand final tour?
But first of all, what government?
The Liberal government.
Yeah.
Give us money.
Yeah, give us money, please. We earned it. He said the fucking words. We earned it.
Come on, our ad didn't work.
Patreon.
That's so pathetic. Of course it wouldn't work on our pod.
But I want to like actually, okay.
Shout
so-
out, Matt. Thanks for helping us, trying to help. Anyway.
We're gonna go back to the. So I one of the key concepts that I wanted to make clear is that, first of all, like, the one question that I'm getting often is, with all of these stimulus packages, who's gonna pay for it? Eventually someone has to pay for it. And I'm going to argue that's a complete fallacy. Because,
Why?
well, first of all, so they say it's public debt, right? So if you,
And it is.
well, but like, it's public debt because you're avoiding private debt.
That's
If you
true.
don't
Well,
do it, you'll have
there.
private
It's got
debt.
us there.
So it's literally just a transfer of one debt to another debt. Okay, so one of the things that, like, I think we need to understand is that, and this only applies to countries that have sovereign money, like Australia, which means that you're not depending on euro, which is being produced by the European, the ECB. Instead, you have your own reserve bank like we do. If you've got sovereign money, you can print it as much as you want. And I think this whole idea of printing...
Yeah, but then
too-
inflation kicks in.
Well, first of all, there's two aspects to it. In most cases, inflation does not kick in. And secondly, even if it does, it's just setting you back to an equilibrium. As long as you're not trying to interfere with your currency exchange rate, that inflation is fine. Because what's going to happen is, the worst thing that can happen is that the value of the Australian dollar is going to go down, which it already has, by the way. And what that means is that
That's fine for us.
It's fine. It's actually good
Yeah,
because
I think
that
so.
way
Is it?
your exports become more competitive.
Australia wants a lower dollar than a higher dollar.
Really?
But you know who
Yeah.
it hurts? And that's why they bring in these austerity measures. People that have large Australian dollar holdings, basically really rich people whose value diminishes because the Australian dollar has gone down. Most poor people don't have those sort of reserves.
Imagine how abstract your life is if that's what you're looking at in the morning.
Like the dollar.
Just like, yeah, oh no, this predetermined ticker went down to the red. Well, I'm going to have to kill myself now.
That's
Just such.
That's why I don't play the stock
Such
market.
yeah.
It's
I've
not worth
always
it.
thought about
It's
that.
not
Just the
worth
fact that billionaires and stuff are just sitting there, just being like, this piece of paper says that I own Brazil.
I know. I know.
Or if you've got like properties, let's say your property was worth $1 million after the Aussie dollar going down and you want a vacation in Greece or something, that value of $1 million is not $1 million in the international market.
But
So
what are the advantage-
the entire effort to keep the currency, like the UK did that some time ago. I think it was in the 70s. They went through they have sovereign currency too, the pound, but they went through a recession and then they went to IMF to say, can you give us more foreign currency so that the value of the British pound doesn't decrease? And they only did that because they wanted to preserve the value
Sterling.
of the sterling so that really rich people don't lose a lot of value.
Ali, I know
from
this
the-
is off topic. Do you know why it's called the sterling?
Fuck.
I don't know.
I
But
don't
I think
why.
sterling is
Just
like
let us know in the comments. I like how you guys have just become an even lazier Google. I'm not going to
Yeah.
Google it. You
Wiki
do.
Twitch.
You Google.
Yeah.
But continue. But I've always just wondered that.
But can I
It's
just-
like the sterling is really down.
Yeah, I
it
was
looks like
wondering
Yeltsin's going to have to go to the EU. Quote every time on the BBC, hat in hand.
Yeah. Can you imagine if it was just like, because it was invented by Sterlo?
that's what
No, not even invented. In
Sterlo.
honour of Sterlo's existence.
Yeah. The greatest forward in Parramatta. So good. But if,
He knows more about formations than rabbits.
but isn't it Rabbitohs? Rabbits.
Rabbits. The guy with that voice is like,
Oh.
unbelievable!
Oh,
I can't believe it. It can't be a try. It can't be a try. It is unbelievable. It's not that unbelievable.
20 meters from the line. He's got the most fucked voice. Totally. But if the...
I think we can all agree with that. That is going to be a day of mourning when that man retires. That should make news like
yeah,
that.
celebration. Morning.
and you gave me shit for Ben Stiller's being
Yeah.
your dad?
Yeah, I did. I don't give a shit about the commentator.
Where's
for
that
NRL.
stick? He needs to be whacked.
No, it's mine. I don't know where it is either. No!
Spank his ass.
You're not spanking me unless he gets a spanking. That was not
All right,
egregious.
boys,
at all.
line up. Come on. Tough.
All right,
but fair.
go on.
All right,
Give me
whatever.
one.
Segment. What do you mean?
Do it.
Hurry up. Jesus, that hurt too much.
Am I getting it too? I don't think Ben
Yeah.
Stiller's dad
Want it?
deserves it.
What?
Fuck off. You deserve 3, you sacrilege dude.
Volunteer.
Oh, I think it's going to be hot, is why I want
You
it.
get up.
No, I'm too scared now. I'm
Get up.
getting pleasure out of it.
I don't give it. He's getting it.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
For all the Seinfeld
it
fans.
hard.
For all the Seinfeld. Go.
Far out.
Do it. God, mine was. My constitution's not good.
I don't know why. Dude, flogging is mad.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up,
Hacky
Ali.
vibes.
Anyway, sorry, what was
Oh,
your
dude,
question?
this was that jackass moment where it's always just like, we jacked him off for a joke. And it's like, is that a joke? Is that like, what's
Oh,
going
I know. I don't know if that's a joke.
No, what was
If
your
the
question?
dollar isn't the dollar going to drop internationally across the board? Like, is this?
Well, so that's what it's you mean Australian dollar? Right?
No, globally. Like,
Well, so-
American dollar's going to fucking drop.
American dollar is actually king because what the Americans have like this unprecedented advantage that no other economy has, that their currency is actually
Rivers.
reserve currency for the entire world.
Yeah.
So for their dollar to crash, the entire world needs to crash.
I see.
So, but it's different for us. Ours is volatile. So when I say the Australian dollar is going to go down because we're not controlling it, the international markets are. That's what I mean. It'll go down. Like internationally, it'll go down.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, look, it's not necessarily a horrible thing because
Yeah.
we are an export-driven economy,
Yeah.
and that means all of our stuff is more competitive overseas.
Yeah, cool.
So
But it
basically,
will drive up public debt.
but
No, sorry,
again,
private debt. Private debt it'll drive up.
Yeah, it will drive private debt. But here's the other thing. Like, we should. There's this. What's her name? She's an economist. Her name is Stephanie something. She's an economist in the U.S. and she was also the economic advisor for Bernie Sanders. And she's
Looks like she's never laughed at a joke ever. She even heard Russell Peters' bit about Chinese people. Still nothing.
Bad sense of humor.
Yeah, she does. I don't think she does have a sense of humor. But one of the things that she was saying is actually interesting. She was saying that this whole public debt is actually not an economic issue. It's a linguistic issue. She was saying that you're saying it as if it's debt, but it's what it actually is just recycling of money within your economy. So when you've got like a coronavirus kind of a crash, what you do is you recycle money from your treasury into areas that need it. She's saying that it's almost like moving money from your salaried savings account to your transaction account. Neither of them are debt. It's just transferring of money where it's required. And she's saying if you think of it from that perspective, you basically eliminate all the propaganda material that they will have for austerity measures.
Isn't it pathetic that it's still the same fight from World War II? Keynes figured this out 70 years ago.
What do you mean?
It's just the same old song and dance, year in, year out. It's
Cutting public, cutting.
no,
funds
it's just
to
like in
public.
times of debt, the government takes the burden and they push out money because before that, the conventional wisdom was, you just let the recession go its due course, and that resulted in the potato famine.
Yeah.
You know,
And also the depression. Keynes was actually, he was the one, and this is exactly...
but you know what? Actually, it wasn't. It was It was Paul Keating's mentor, Jack Lang. He thought of this. Before
Jack
Keynes.
LaLanne.
What? No, this is an
So-
old idea, Joel.
The Jack LaLanne.
Public. So in terms of in times of recession, you spend a lot of money on public services like infrastructure building
To boost
and
the
actually
economy,
give scholarships to people. The only point of that is to make
Plasmas.
sure that people you need to keep up your consumer demand, so people have enough money to keep buying stuff. If they can't do it from their own jobs, then you make sure that you give them.
Well,
a
how
job.
old is the idea?
like
hundreds of
100
years
years?
old?
Yeah, no, not hundreds.
But so what's
like close to 100?
But what's the
yeah.
disadvantage?
It's really weird that it took us. How long has society been a thing with money?
don't
2000?
No, this is like, but that's the whole
took us a
tragedy of
long
the
while.
situation. This is not like what I'm saying is not new. It was changed with like Thatcherism and Reaganism.
Yeah.
Like after the Second World War, FDR, they knew exactly how to deal with this sort of issue. That's why we had this incredible period of growth.
they are
And Thatcher and Ronald Reagan really were the Today FM of politicians, weren't they? Just like all the classic hits, just bringing back these
Yeah.
old done ideas.
Yeah. But that's what we've been doing, though. They've been
What?
giving out they've been giving out money and surpluses to the public so that the economy doesn't crash. That's
yeah,
what they've been doing.
now they are.
Yeah.
But eventually, when this all goes back to normal, companies they're gonna want to pursue austerity measures. That's the difference between.
And they're
I feel
using
like
this
Liberal
as a
and Labour
backdoor to
government, yeah.
introduce
Wait,
all
what
the
does that
work
mean?
choices
What's
of all.
austerity measures?
So austerity measure is, let's say you were receiving $500 because you're disabled a week, right? For whatever reason, for
So
NDIS.
it's just disabled services. That's what.
no, it's for like any sort of
No,
public
Miss
spending, like doles, HEX, whatever money that the government is spending
Oh,
on
so that is-
individuals.
Yeah, in austerity measures, you know when you conned the Australian public into buying a Gibson guitar when you just pretend
Fender.
you're on the dole
Fender,
for like
Fender.
a year?
Get your facts right.
Yeah, the Fender. In austerity measures, you wouldn't be able to get that guitar.
That's
mate.
probably a good thing.
No, it teaches him a lesson.
But I understand what you're saying. Like people that need
stick economics. Where is it again? Right.
that hurt too much. The people that legitimately rely on government subsidies will not get them. That's what you're saying.
Pretty
No,
much.
it's not only will they not get them, but the whole burden of this supposed public debt, which, like I've said before, is a bit of a fallacy.
Yeah.
is put on the weakest shoulders of society. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
austerity
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I get you.
What they say is like they'll cut even more corporate tax because they'll say that's going to encourage job growth and it'll eventually lead to more taxes, which does not happen.
You use every excuse there is to cut corporate tax. It's just that every now and then that excuse works. But you could really summarize the Liberal Party's entire 75-year history as one policy over and over, which is cut corporate tax. That's their answer to everything. Oh, the economy's doing bad. Oh, well, we better cut taxes. Oh, the economy's doing well.
Give
Well,
me
let's
that
cut
poll.
taxes.
You don't deserve to have that poll.
Cut. Yeah. Doesn't
Oh, come on.
Because you're waving it. Sorry.
Doesn't-
go.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm a bad man.
So, like, would you say that like cutting corporate tax is like a band-aid sort of fix in that it's kind of like, yeah, maybe it boosts job growth.
It doesn't even do that.
First of all, it doesn't even boost job growth. What it does is it can potentially increase foreign direct investment.
Yeah.
Because companies that are
Rio
stationed
Tinto is
elsewhere.
like sweet, basically.
Yeah, but
But the 40 years of data that we have on that shows that it's just it's a scam.
yeah, it doesn't
work
benefit
right.
the average.
Unless
Mislav.
you are going to the point, like some of these other tax havens, where you're saying we're giving you zero tax to put your money
Barbados
here.
or whatever, yeah.
But even,
Unless you're willing to go to that level, it's going to do nothing.
But even that is, it's the race to the bottom. That's
Exactly.
What, every country makes it a little less so that it incentivizes other companies like Google to come and park all their investment over there until some other bullshit country is going to reduce it even a few percentage to a point where eventually you can't even tax corporations anymore because you've got 0% tax.
But so is
I still reckon the best thing to do is just increase the corporate tax rate back to the old days of like 45% or whatever. And then all the companies that go, you can leave. It's like, yeah, fine. The ones that stay will make up for the revenue.
You know what,
just
like
unfairly tax burden them. Like this is the thing. Every time I go into my accountant's office and she's sitting there being like, you can take advantage of this, you can take advantage of that. I must be the only. She looks at me as if I'm disabled every time.
You're like, I don't
I'm
wanna
just
do
sitting
that.
there and I'm just like, look, I like the fact that schools have money.
Yeah.
And she's just like, what are you, some kind of idiot? It's insane.
a moral man. So do you think what do you predict? Do you predict that if they do cut, they do those measures, the historic, whatever it is, those measures, like, will it just be like, Ali, do you predict that it's time for us to crack open each other's heads and feast on the gooey insides? Yes, I do.
well, eventually, I guess at some point when you keep putting
Very
heavy
articulate.
burdens on the weakest shoulders, they're going to snap.
So shit's gonna hit the fan. I thought we were just gonna breeze straight through this because even the fact that Morrison just basically adopted a policy from the unions and labor because he was just like, oh shit, this is in Hawaii.
Yeah, they did that, and
After
then
a
they,
lot of pressure
after
on
like
them.
2 or 3 weeks, they realized, oh, hang on, no, I figured out how to fuck this up.
But
Yeah,
that's
okay,
actually to
we'll
their
go there.
credit.
Really?
To their credit, that's
No, but-
actually a really good. The wage subsidy program is actually pretty good.
Yeah, but it's not his.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
his.
it's not his.
No, but what
And
did
on
he-
top of that,
copy it
like
from New Zealand?
they changed it as well.
what do they do?
So they increased the waiting time, more or less, to force small businesses to close and put their employees on the job seeker payment, which is a lot less than job keeper.
Oh, I see.
And so they're saving money on that. So pretty much, as always, they figured out how to make it a dole for larger corporations.
I don't know a single person that had applied for any of that sort of stuff receiving money yet. Do you know anyone?
No one. It's not. It's not
I
been
don't think
given out. It's
anyone's
not been
received
given out
it.
yet.
So that means people are still. Well,
Still,
I guess
no, it hasn't been given out
the
yet.
6-month freeze on mortgages and rents helps.
This,
but
no, this is what's happened. What they've said is, look, companies should start paying out the payments to their employees now, and the government will reimburse you. But
companies won't do it. It'll ruin
no,
the liquidity.
they are doing it. They are.
yeah,
doing
but
it.
like
Not smaller.
but not to the
No.
same level.
Smaller businesses can't carry that burden.
Yeah,
Ours is doing
They,
it.
well,
Yeah, but
Your
yours is a
business probably has
successful
savings.
Small business. Think about all the other shops in Lithgow
yeah,
where you're
like
just
the
like, can I have
vegan-
chips? And they just give you
they
McCain's
were-
chips. Can I have them cooked?
Or like the vegan donut shop down the road. Like, how are they going to survive?
they have zero liquidity. They have no savings.
Come on, that place should have
Your-
closed.
I guess free market works sometimes.
Yeah, it does. But okay, no, that is a good point though. The ones that can't, literally don't have money in the bank or money to borrow to pay their staff. So I mean, it hasn't.
No,
been
because
done-
it's the exact opposite of what Labor did under Rudd, which was just inject the money into everybody's bank account,
Yeah.
one hit. And that's just gives the money straight to the people, straight to the dumbasses that are just going to run out and be like, oh, what a coincidence. The plasma screen's $999. And
What they should have actually done.
That's what you're supposed to do when there's a downturn.
not 1,000.
That would have been so. First of
I'm
all,
saving money.
it's immediate relief. But what they should have also done is, in addition to doing that, they should have done the central link thing, because paying everyone a certain amount of money also gives people that don't necessarily need a lot of money. And that's good for consumer for consumer demand, as in like things keep getting bought. But
the question
but
is, where's
people
the
that
money
really
come
need
from, right?
it.
Can the
Well, that's what
government
I'm saying.
afford to do it?
The government can. If you've got sovereign money like us,
Yeah.
which is that.
What's the budget? What's the yearly budget the government has?
Close to 450 billion.
Yeah.
It's a lot of green. Damn, they can afford it.
No, it doesn't work
That's
like
such
that.
a
They
good
can afford-
realization in Miss Love's head. Whoa, that's more than I made last year.
That's slightly more than I. How many guitars does ScoMo own? 40.
But
wonder
Miss Love,
his
that's what I'm
name's
like
ScoMo.
saying. It doesn't even matter what your budget is. If you're a stable economy like Australia that prints its own money, you can technically, I mean, theoretically, you have infinity money.
Yeah, I'm too
Because
stupid
every
at economics
money
to
is
understand.
basically so when you look at like $10, like Australian $10, it's not pegged to like the gold like it was back in the day. All it is, it's an IOU. It's a trust that my government is not going to collapse.
Yeah.
And so trust the fact that this $10 is worth something. The day Australian government or like the economy and like the whole country collapses, that $10 or that $50 is going to be worthless. So it just depends on the trust that you have a stable government. So technically speaking, you have infinity money. You
Really?
can inject that money into your what it eventually
And they
does
did just
is-
recently print 8% of the GDP.
yeah.
It's proof of it. And they decided it on a dime. The same government
it's
that's constantly
done.
saying, we don't have money to properly fund NDIS, which is like the Reserve Bank said, 8% of the GDP. I don't see a problem with that. Can we just think about this for an hour? No. All right, just print it then.
What do
That's
you,
pretty
yeah, the
much what
Liberal
happened.
Party. What do you think we can do? Print money? Yes. Oh, well, yeah, we can print money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Yeah,
But then they did exactly what the Liberal Party did and allowed the major banks to dole out that money to whoever they wanted it to be doled to instead
So-
of just injecting it into the economy.
So ideally, you're saying, I mean, look, basically, Ali, what you're saying is the ideal situation is because they've adopted a lot of the policies from the unions and labor and stuff, or those kind of policies. Their initial reaction hasn't been perfect because they've sort of screwed it up down the line. But essentially,
they delayed it.
yeah. But essentially,
They had to do it after, like, pressure.
Yeah, but initially it was like going well, and you're saying it would.
Initially,
No,
their
no.
first stimulus package was one of the most.
That was
That was the
terrible.
worst
talking
thing
about
that
that. I'm
I've ever
talking about-
seen.
okay, I'm talking
But the
about-
wage subsidy plan, I think was good, and it actually would save.
But what I'm saying, as long as they don't introduce those measures of just instantaneous
What
cuts,
I'm saying,
then
like
it'll be
again,
fine,
what I'm
right?
saying, it's a semantic thing. You're saying the public debt is increasing. Who's going to pay for it? I'm saying the debt already existed. It was private debt that is now being converted into public debt because we don't want people to go bankrupt. So it's not that the stimulus is creating public debt. It's the coronavirus that has created some level of debt. What I'm saying is if you've got sovereign currency, that's a problem that you can easily overcome.
Yeah. No, well,
You're screwed if you're Zimbabwe and your currency is Australian dollars. That's when you're screwed. Or if you're like Italy and you depend on euro because you don't have control over your monetary policy.
but what is the solution? What would the solution be? Now, after this passes, let's say,
Well, the solution would be that even if you want to get a surplus, and I think Jordan's in the best position because he has his entire stand-up was about that.
Keep
But again,
handing the
this whole
cash.
like
Keep
budget
handing.
surplus thing is kind of overrated.
Yeah, but
you
what-
can run deficits.
Yeah.
Like it's not, deficits are not a problem. It's essentially just an IOU of the government, and the government will eventually make money. Australia is not going to collapse. You'll be fine.
So what? So essentially is like what a deal situation is to if you are reliant on government subsidies post Corona, you should still get them, and then the rest of the people like get back to work. That's basically it.
Yeah, we'll get back to work. And even you don't need to continue these specific wage subsidies for a long time. Ideally, the more, the better. But what you need to make sure is that the brunt of this public debt is not taken by people that desperately need money. It's you can use other ways to like fulfill budget surplus, like maybe even increase corporate tax. Let's see how that shit works
Yeah.
out. Because all of a sudden, if all of these companies that go bankrupt need public funding, then maybe we get to make some of those decisions of how you run
It's
your
just, so
shit.
it's just the classic thing of like they want to cut corporate tax, and it's like that is an avenue to make money. That could be an answer.
yeah,
to the
that
problem.
could be one of the answers. Or one
Well,
of
it
the
is
other.
the reason that Australia went into it's more debt than it has been since Federation.
Right now.
In just 5 years of Liberal Party governance. And this is before them burdening the taxpayer with, I don't even know what we're up to now, 300 billion or something like that.
What do you mean?
Before that, huh?
What do you mean burdening the taxpayer with the debt?
Well, I mean, look, you have to do it, but it's still the right word, I guess. That 300, first, no, actually, I still stand by that 85 billion that they initially, injected into the public. That was just another handout to big business. There was no need for that. That was completely redundant. They just for no reason were just like, yeah, we'll cop that. There you go, guys. And it was a huge, as always, mass corrupt scandal that was sold to the public as necessary. But anyway, all of that aside, before that, the Liberal Party had given Australia more debt than it has had since the beginning of federation in just 5 years of governing.
Well, that's also because of inflation. Like whatever, $300 billion is worth a lot more than it was. Is worth a lot less than what it was like 50 years ago.
Yeah, right.
So like the numbers are like what I'm saying is. Things with inflation, eventually numbers seem a lot bigger. It's never going to go down.
No. It's not.
To like
like in terms of that, but like no. Also, just in terms of the amount of debt to GDP ratio is higher than it has ever been, and that was because of them cutting taxes and allowing businesses to avoid tax. All of that debt was loaded onto the Australian public purse. And then they turn around after getting rid of the Labor Party for their horrendous economic track record of having the best economic track record on earth. They got rid of them. They doubled the debt in a matter of a year, I think. And then, wouldn't you know, the Murdoch press shuts the fuck up about debt, never says a thing about it ever, and everyone forgets about it.
To reduce debt, like that was
their entire campaign.
That's crazy.
Fix the debt, and then they doubled it.
So, like, is that just proof that, like, essentially, like, Reaganomics doesn't work again? How can that? But then, how can that be contested? How can someone look at the result and go, maybe there's different factors, but how can someone look at that and be like, clearly, ultra privatization doesn't work?
Well, you know what Yanis said about that? He was saying that we always win the arguments, but we always lose the war.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
So he was saying, like, in terms of, like, if you sit down two economists, the one that is arguing our perspective is most likely going to win that debate. But when it comes to policy...
But how isn't it transferable? Like, it's
because, well...
Rhetoric, the media.
Well, the media propagates it, but it's not in the interest of people that have all the power. Like the fact that like
corporations,
the fact that like if we're sitting here and advocating that you should increase corporate tax, the most powerful people in our society are not for it.
Coal and oil.
So they will use whatever means. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
well, there's some of them, but basically the entire business council will be against increasing taxes. Almost every scenario, the business council will push for a lower corporate tax rate.
Like the carbon
I can
tax,
understand that for small business. I can understand a lower tax rate for small business.
They say that, but these mom and pop shops aren't as mom and pop as they claim them to be. Like
because they say that a small business, as soon as the Liberal Party gets in, the small business definition goes from like a $2 million turnover to a $50 million turnover.
Right.
They just change the definition of what a small business is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of these, even these stimulus packages of wage subsidies, like businesses that were doing well and are affected by coronavirus are easily getting it. Businesses that were already on the verge aren't even able to get it.
Why?
Because apparently they don't meet the requirements. That's the other thing. Getting getting access to these stimulus packages is not as easy as it makes as people make it out to be.
There's going to be a lot of places that suffer and like they're like, I have a family and we're bankrupt. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of That's going to be a lot of those situations.
And
which won't be good.
And eventually they're gonna be in position to need some of those public spending the most when it's going to be cut down. So
the future's grim.
The future, it doesn't have to be.
No, it doesn't have to be. Exactly, that's the whole point.
As long as there's advocacy.
No.
Well, look.
Come on, Ali.
The first stimulus package.
Give up.
But it's true, though.
Stop trying.
Look, we lose every time.
Yeah,
there's a really solid reason for that. Things have to get really bad, as in World War II or post, the Great Depression, for anything for the public to actually pay enough attention to how they want to be governed.
Right.
Other than that, they have that Homer Simpson quote of Lisa. That's why we have elected government officials, so we don't have to think.
So true.
But you know what the problem is? Like mostly, Jordan, like the left loses. We never make use of crisis.
Don't use that word.
Well.
Yeah, don't even use that word.
What, the left?
Yeah,
it's too tarnished.
But it's not even accurate anymore. It's like, how is like Jordan's?
The left.
You know what it is. The common sense side always loses.
Right. Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll rephrase it. The common sense side always loses.
I'm sick of you not wearing a blue wife beater, Ali. Come on.
But
start the common sense party.
Hell yeah.
people like really right wing, bordering on
Stop
fascist.
saying those words, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
What?
And
There's
we all know what
Okay,
he's
so
saying.
how would you like?
there's no
how would you
point-
describe, let's say, the Brazilian government or the British
Bolsonaro.
government,
Conservative.
or like
A strong man.
that cannot get the virus because he's got a
Because
big
he-
wang.
Yeah.
well, I call
Don't you
them-
know these?
Conservative.
Do you know these or not?
I call them fascist light.
Yeah, of course you do.
Of course you do. Give everyone a free boiled egg.
Whatever. The
Why
fact
is
is, like,
this the podcast Two Chads and a Cuck? I don't get it. Why are you such a simp? I don't get it.
I don't know,
I'm sick of
man.
your I'm not on that train.
These
Can you
terms
be
are
on
like-
one of them?
Be on a train.
Yeah, I
It's so
know.
hard to like. So you're saying like they completely change your dictionary?
Yes.
Because to me, left means something different. To
Exactly,
What,
but it means something different to
Pedestrian
everyone.
things.
That's the whole point.
but like, so what?
What does it
what
mean?
am I supposed to use? Common sense is
Common
I think
sense party.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is basically
The side of
bordering on
common
Mislev's
sense.
argument. Like
And as Paul Keating says, the turkeys. That's what you call the Liberal Party, just the turkeys.
The
from now.
the
turkeys.
common sense and the turkey.
The turkeys.
I guess this is bordering on Mislove's point where he says if the Labour Party wants to win, they've got to change the color from red to something else.
Yeah, gold.
Dude,
I reckon change it to gold.
It's going to come out in 10 years and there'll be some like...
Dude, yeah. I can't believe we never even thought about this. Green and gold.
yeah.
L is green, A is yellow, and so on and so forth until you spell Labour.
Dude, I'm telling you, they'd go up in the polls. It's just too many
Yeah.
people associated with it. Be like, the Workers' Party. Well, not the
Yeah.
Workers' Party, but it's like the commies, you know?
Put Albo's head on that boxing kangaroo cartoon. You got yourself a winner.
I honestly think
I do think that actually would work.
it would help.
Yeah.
It's all PR. I mean, it shouldn't be, but the reality of the situation is so much of this stuff is PR and is just marketing. So if you can just change it to like the sausage sizzle party, they'll win it in an instant. And then Albo
Yeah.
does a shoey, you're done. You don't need Lee Say.
I stand by that. If
Do
Bill
a
Shorten
shoey.
did a shoey, he would have
And
won
Albo
the last
would.
election.
But you know that was like
I
the
think you're-
whole.
No,
dude,
he
you're
would've.
right. Think about it. Think about
Dude,
that.
like Bob Hawke was
Bob
able
Hawke
to
did
wrestle
that.
power off the oligarchy for 4 terms
With a
because he
boots.
was able to scull.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
and he had like certain different positions compared.
Well,
to,
he was
like,
very
the
charming as well.
Keatings and
He was a very charming guy.
he was charming. He was also very culturally aware of what Australians want. Like Keating,
But it's
for
not that
instance,
hard. It's just beer and sport.
Yeah.
You've won.
Yeah.
that, and also like stop saying that China is awesome. That was one of the things that he also did.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
We okay, so we're fine, guys. All right, so this is the point where we get on to what was it called?
Oh, yeah.
You're right there, champ.
You're right there, champ. So send us your questions or what is advice? Can you?
Yeah. Look,
Like-
look. If you've got questions for us, if you're going through a hard time, because I've been thinking about it ever since that somebody last pod asked, "Hey, can you how to make any friends? Can you tell me how to make friends?"
Go outside.
And I've been laughing ever since. So I want you guys to give me more material.
stuff. You keep us warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I just want you to be a verbal bum fight. I want to laugh at your misery. Help me out. And maybe you might get helped out as well. It's pretty anonymous.
You might love
I'm
me
pretty sure your name isn't Big Wang 60. I'm gonna take
Hey,
that.
how did you know this guy? Dude, someone's handle is actually Dome King, and I don't think it's
King.
actual Dome King.
Oh,
And that's all right.
amazing.
The spirit lives on, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that guy hasn't got
It's
time,
like
man.
Saw. He never dies.
Well, all right. Well, one of the first ones that is not here yet, but I got before was, how do you concentrate during quarantine? Jordan, you're the best equipped to answer
Well, that's a
that
stupid question.
Concentrate during...
It's the same as
That
any
is a
time.
dumb
You just,
question.
it's exactly the same with any moment of your life when it comes to focus. And I think it is the power of chunking.
Of what?
That's how you get it.
Chunking?
It's just like, look, this will speak to you, Miss Love. Say I've got a cabanossi in front of me, right? What's
Hold on,
the
let me
best-
visualize it. And I'm there.
Zoom in on his peenie. His little
Yeah.
cabanossi's hard. And so the best way to eat it is
Yeah.
to cut it into small slices.
And let's be honest, throw it in the bin. That shit's horrible. But, yeah.
Cabanossi.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know.
Oh, so you've just been going on for the joke for the last hour.
Yeah, dude, I like good quality salted meat. But,
Now there's some good advice.
but I understand. But, yeah.
Eat things that aren't bad.
But go on, use the analogy.
Yeah, well, anyway, the whole power of like if you're ever having problems concentrating, this is the way to do it. You make a deal with yourself to just pay attention for the next minute. That's it. Or if you want to start reading a book, anything like that, you say the same thing. I'm just going to read one word.
That's good.
As soon as you read one word, your brain goes, I didn't say stop. And it goes to the next word. And would you know that? It goes to the next.
Yeah.
And if I could put it this Brian Tracy voice, and before you know it, you've read an entire page.
So
Does this
good.
help you? This is like weirdly, it's something that I came across.
I like that.
One of the
I'm using that. All I've been using is the 5-second rule.
I like how Miss Love's he's kind of just like, his face is the weather. If you're talking about heavy things, he goes, I don't like that. If you say something nice, I do like that.
well, at least good, bright affirmation. Well, Jordan, do you ever experience this? I feel like when you wake up, whenever it is, morning, you took a nap, as soon as you wake up, get in front of whatever you need to do, and it is the most productive time.
That's the 5 shit. Totally.
Is that it?
Yeah, I agree.
And it's also, and your brain works the best. Like I remember when I was like doing like my undergrad, when I was really struggling, I would set an alarm for 4 a.m. like randomly, and I would wake up at 4 a.m. and start doing my assignment, and I felt like I did some of my best work at that point.
Wow, I wouldn't recommend that one, but maybe.
I don't like, it's honestly worked for me.
Dude, this is my advice. Your feelings are bullshit. Like, don't pay attention to that rationalizing, philosophical part of your mind. Like, well, what are the implications of doing this thing I have to do? If there's something that you know has to be done, and the logical part of your mind is telling you to do it, just do it. Like, I think too many people give their brain this benefit of the doubt. It's like, yeah, I'm this supreme being. No, you're a monkey. And then your brain is a monkey, a drunk monkey in a like metal box with getting poked with like many sticks. Like, I just think people should, like, that's what the 5-second rule is too, where it's just kind of like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, force yourself to do it. Just theorizing and mulling on things. It is most of the time a waste of fucking time. If you throw yourself into it, you get action.
I think
creates
it's
more
easier
action.
said than done. People
Dude,
recognize,
yeah, it is more. Of course it is, but you just do it. You force this. You train yourself to do it.
No, the courage to force yourself is absent, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
but that's
part of their
muscle you have
brain
to flex.
realizes that they're slack, and that part is also hating themselves.
Yeah, but there's rules to get around that.
How? Well,
The
that's
5,
the point.
Jordan. Do you want to take this one?
All right. The 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. Written by Mel Robbins. Spoken by Mel Robbins.
Written by a-
Directed by Mel Robbins.
Yeah, written by a classy Bostonian chick. Yo, you just want some pizza?
Every example I have is to do with my kids, specifically my daughter.
Yeah.
I never talk about my son. I don't think I like him. Mel Robbins, I really like her
I like.
no ifs, buts, and maybes about it attitude
Yeah.
to getting things done. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that counts.
Yeah.
Isn't it, Miss Love?
And her hilarious accent is very close second. But essentially,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know what I was talking about. It's definitely that. It's
Yeah.
just the fact she's from Boston.
Boston. But essentially, her thing is like, here we go. Be courageous. When you've got a problem and you're mulling and putting it off, be like that rocket ship that takes off into the stars. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and force yourself into action. You have to do it when you hit 1. And then you start to get into the motion of it. And then motion, like action creates more action. It's just this, it's a knock-on effect.
Yeah, do it right now, actually. Let's just do a little challenge. Everyone on the Twitch
Yeah.
at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's see how much our numbers go down by.
What do you
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm turning this off.
Oh, jeez, log off. No.
Let's
No.
see.
No. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Are the
1.
numbers down? Are they down?
Are they down? Oh, that's
Oh, what? Jesus
Maybe we
Christ.
should
Why are we so damn entertaining? What?
gone up.
What
Let's
the
give
hell?
let's give them something more realistic. Okay, how about this?
We're
Fi-
in the Matrix.
How about this?
No people anymore.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I mean we're never going to be able to prove this, but yell out, everyone who's watching now, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and yell out in your room wherever you are. Yell out, "Serenity now!" And we'll never know. But let's just
No,
Yeah,
we
let's
could
just
know,
see if it just
but-
went.
Let's see,
Did
let's
it go
see.
nuts?
Just as a tidbit, my phone is dead now.
Oh, for
yeah,
God's sake.
You should bring out yours, Miss Love, if you want to check it out.
All right, I think I can get faced with one of these.
I mean, we probably don't.
I think
need
we
it.
need to give you some advice. Get a smartphone.
No. He's got the right idea.
This is the real.
Oh shit! But we do need the. All right, hey Siri, get us onto Twitch. My stream, my one.
Miss Love, just go on.
What
Hey,
did you
Siri.
do to upset Siri. She's not talking to you.
Can you also ask
Hey
Miss Love? Remember,
Siri.
man, I missed that segment that we used to do. Miss
Siri.
Love gives love advice. Dude, just click on it. Stop
Listening.
screaming.
Take me to Twitch, you dummy. Take me to Twitch.
Stop it.
Take me to Twitch.
You do realize you're on air, miss.
Yeah.
Twitch me.
No?
Can we?
It's broken, dude. Fuck. You do it.
What the hell is wrong?
All right, so we've learned that Miss Love's attention span maxes out after an hour.
What are you talking about? I'm trying to get the goddamn comments up.
Isn't that great that he was just giving us advice about how to get things done?
I was trying.
Siri, do it for me.
I was trying. But yeah, look, I guess we got to go to more. We don't have any more questions. But I mean, I think that that's the best advice you could be giving. You do that and you just start doing. I think like action creates more action. That's it. You just force yourself. You don't rationalize it, and you begin taking action, and then before you know it, it's just happening, and then you're just like, oh fuck, how did that? I don't know how that happened, but you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the best advice.
And all those feelings do go out the door in a second.
Not gonna happen.
Jesus, where's
How
your
much
Facebook
conditioning is
at?
there in top four?
I don't have Facebook. I don't have the app. Sorry?
Hang on. Were you just pranking Ali?
No, I didn't know you needed that shit. I thought it was like. Anyway, sorry.
What
But
the internet? Well, at least you're learning.
no, I knew we needed the internet.
I don't know. Someone just
Okay.
messaged me, asked Jordan why he's stupid.
Good one.
All right, that's it. I'm not doing Twitch anymore from now on. This is gone
Hey,
too far.
team.
This was actually
This
Guys.
one written comment.
How long have we got? You people.
19 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and counting.
I'm sure we'll get
We're
to the
almost there.
Why is Client Liaison doing a live stream with KFC this Friday?
What?
All right, for anybody who didn't hear that,
Is that a joke?
Client Liaison
Maybe they can just
is
shout out
doing
the
a
question.
live stream with KFC.
Oh, but wait, what do you mean with KFC? That's not a person.
It's not?
Wait, what, that doesn't even make sense.
What?
They're doing a live stream with KFC. So what, like Client Liaison? What do you like more, original recipe or zinger? Is that it? Like, what?
Yeah, that'll be it.
No.
Without a doubt.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I'd do it too for free KFC. Would you?
What I'm wondering though is anyone going to watch that?
I didn't know Client Liaison was still a thing. I don't like. Wasn't their whole thing just sort of like, remember the 80s? They were good, right? Not really. Yeah, I know, but we're still there anywhere, so maybe just try it.
Yeah.
Like,
Has
is
anyone
that-
done this before? Brought back the 80s? Yes, everyone else.
Everyone.
Just checking. We're
did
doing
that,
it as well.
Yeah. When did that peak again? 2002. What year is it? 2020. I mean, come on.
I know.
Look, I don't think anyone has. any
Having said that,
serious
in the
life
last Twitch, we were
issues.
just talking about
Oh.
how mad the 80s were. I guess we're doing it.
The 80s were mad, but I think that like the problem with a lot of those bands is they're just like, it's the 80s, not how they actually were, but a new interpretation of like super hammy interpretation of how we thought it was. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, dude, it wasn't
Yeah.
like all it was like Arnie going up to people and going, "You son of a bitch." Like it wasn't like they just overdo it, man. They overdo it. And you know what was a big part of the 80s, man?
Not enough breakdancing.
Yeah, and you know what was a big part of the 80s as well? Here we go. A big part of the 80s was like the crappy production value. A lot of
Yes.
these new bands are being like the 80s, remember? But with really high quality studio production. It's like
Well, that's out the door. It's not the 80s.
the best part of the 80s was the sort of semi-crumminess of it.
Yeah.
So that's like the same reason why our pod's kind of cool, the semi-crumminess. Like it's not, I don't want, you know, like Prince really well produced. I want like just a little bit off, you know? That's the best thing about
That's,
that.
you know, that's a really
That was the
Australian
same thing. It's just like the same.
Is it? Yeah, I think
like,
it's an Australian.
You know how all the movies back then just had puppets instead of CGI?
Yeah, and they were better.
Way scarier.
Way scarier and way better. That fucking Ninja Turtles movie where it was just like they built robots onto people's faces. Like, cowabunga.
Yes.
Dude, I would love to rewatch that, and not like ironically either. Look, even like
Yeah, I just liked the fact that it was just like the hottest act in the world was Vanilla Ice. They legitimately thought at that time, like, this is the new Michael Jackson. That was
Dude.
just that nice little 6-month window.
and there's a reason
Can't replicate
There's
that.
a reason why the new Star Wars movies are using models again.
Are they?
Yeah, they are because they're.
Well, that's lovely to hear.
Yes.
Finally.
So there you go. We mentioned Star Wars. You're welcome, internet.
Yeah,
Miss
I
Love, so
know.
we've got another
And
question.
there was a lot of nostalgia hits in there as well. So double welcome.
Do you think guys and girls can actually be friends, or is it all about the puss?
It's,
You know what? Scientifically, no.
Yeah, it's the latter. Well, not the latter.
What do you mean?
They can't be
Dude,
friends.
you know what? I think
No,
you
no, no,
can
but like,
be.
dude, you know that this is actually a fact. I was reading this in a book recently, and it's like, I can't disagree. Guys, can you disagree with this point? Apparently, women, when they talk to men, I go, yay, he's my friend. It's Terminator vision as a guy. You're just walking down the street being like, tap, would not tap, tap, would not tap. Just
Yeah.
five,
Yeah, that is true.
like half a second.
But you can be,
That's-
but you can be friends with would not tap.
You can be friends with would not tap. You have to
Yes.
determine in your mind that you would not tap, which I guess takes 0.5 of a second, and then after that, you're in the friend.
Yeah, and you can be best of friends.
You're both right. I agree.
But I think the problem is if you're considering would not tap, they probably want to tap you.
Usually that would happen.
Usually it works out
It's
because
never mutual. It's just so rare that it's just like you're a girl, I'm a guy, we're friends, and we both agree with that perspective. That's very
But it's
rare.
also that
Very, very,
attitude
very rare.
causes them to like you because
Exactly,
if you're in
exactly.
would not tap mode, that's the best, like, because you're a chase at that point,
exactly,
right? So psychologically,
exactly.
they
Yeah,
want
yeah.
you more at that point.
So essentially, the answer to the question
Yeah.
is it's possible, but the chances are fucking low. Like 0.000, I don't know. 1.
Yeah, that's
Are you
the answer
saying
to that.
you don't
It's happened.
It's happened, but like if it happens to you and you want that, you'll be very
So
lucky.
you
But yeah,
Are you saying
even
you
when
don't
you're on
have
a
a
reality
single female
TV show,
friend?
huh?
You guys don't have a single female friend?
No.
I don't think of it. Yeah, but I do because I am basically a homosexual man.
Yeah,
like,
that's
apart from the
true.
fact that I don't have sex with men, I'm basically
That
gay.
culturally homosexual.
That's
That
right,
is true.
that's right.
He is the closest thing to being.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't.
So I
And
do
he'll
have
get there. Well, he'll
female
get there
friends.
one day with the whole works. You know, he's just working on it.
Yeah. I'm warming my way
He can
up.
learn.
a borderline gay man blessed with a huge penis.
Oh,
Yeah.
exposed.
Or is it a burden? I do like that was a Greek mythology.
I haven't.
Have you heard about that? I can't remember who it was, but there was a man that had such a large cock. This is a Greek myth. I think he was burdened with this giant cock. And then
What, Rocco
beat his
Siffredi?
donkey to death with it. Yes, Rocco Siffredi.
Beat his what?
A Greek mythology of it. He just got out his schlong and then beat a donkey to death with it. And then he pissed off some god like Zeus or something like that. Who did you do this? With my gook. There has to be a Rocco Siffredi movie about it. Surely.
The devil between my legs.
The devil
But
between
that guy is such a devil. How comical is it thinking about a man walking around with a penis so long that it's kind of like Dorothy to the dinosaur's tail? Just getting dragged through the dirt, being like,
That's
he's
a,
a
that's
guest,
a
no?
legitimate curse. They can't even have sex. Like if it's that.
And also,
yeah,
it would
you
take-
could. No, but you
could-
pass out because of all the blood that
the-
would
you
rush.
would take-
Oh, that's not it.
What?
But it's also
Yeah, if
like,
you took a Viagra, it'd just be the same as having a sleeping pill.
dude.
no, but
the
it's
blood
also
it would
difficult
take.
for a woman to be able to handle that kind of thing.
What?
Guys, this isn't the
What a
blue pod.
penis that is longer than your legs.
Yeah, that's not good. That's.
Ali's thinking about the practical.
Wait, would you rather have a really, really small penis or a really big one?
That's not a question.
not a question.
Is that even
What,
a
a
question?
really big one?
course,
No, I'm
obviously.
talking about like the size of your
What?
leg.
What did you say?
No, I'm just saying it to be controversial. Ooh.
What do you mean?
Did that work?
Oh well, what? Being like, ooh, I
I was
want.
trying to throw spanners.
Oh,
in,
like, I want the
see which
small one.
Stops the cogs.
Yeah. Well,
Wait, you'd prefer a small
Yeah,
one?
thank you.
No.
What are you talking about? You would obviously prefer a small one.
No.
Okay, here's the thing. If you have a really, really big penis, there's a high
Science.
possibility that no one's gonna ever have sex with you. If you have a really small penis, yeah, a lot of people might.
Nah,
not.
but dude,
but
yeah, but it's
a lot of people
one-
might feel pity
How
and do it
small is
anyway.
it? Is it just one of those little Pinocchio?
Like whatever qualifies as a micro
Jesus,
one.
Just a
A
knob.
micro one,
Yeah, or the alternative is the size of your leg.
the size of my leg. One, you'll
Are
find
you
one.
guys-
You'll find one
Guys,
chick
can
in
we
like
please-
Kansas that'll be like, "Come on, let's
But
do
how
this." And
dominant
two,
would
it's
you
funny.
be in every business scenario, walking in with...
No, you would pass out every time you have an erection. You'll pass
Ali,
out during a
I don't
business
like. I
meeting.
don't like your negative attitude. There's
Are you-
positives. There's heaps of
How
positives
is
you're
this a
overlooking.
controversial
There's
opinion?
heaps of
It
positives you're
is very
overlooking.
controversial.
It's controversial.
you guys
You're
are
saying
morons.
you want
You're
a
a
pinner.
moron.
What the hell?
Yeah, you
How
want
is
a
that not
pinner.
controversial?
Why do you want a pinner?
Oh my god, why? Because clearly having an
But
extremely
Ali,
big
how
penis
small
is worse.
is the pin dick?
Micro penis, whatever it qualifies.
Dude,
two
What is
cents.
it? You need a microscope to see
2
the
inches.
cock.
No, not that small.
Dude.
Not that
But it
small.
has to be
2
bigger than a
inches.
clit, right?
Oh,
I mean, if you're lucky.
when's like the
No,
security
no. How
gonna run in?
scary a large
Yeah, I don't know if this is the best sort of conversation.
This isn't even the
Yeah,
like.
it is.
This is even like the dark web.
There's not a better conversation than cocks. There's
Look, and you're not gay.
well, it was the people are saying it was a nice run on Twitch for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. It was fun.
But okay, tell me. Okay, please, guys, listen. Answer
This
this.
is the hardest hitting like subject of the night. Just like let's get to the crux of this.
All right, what about this? Would you rather have no pee hole or no anus?
That's not a that's not a real scenario.
They would both suck. They would both suck.
What do you mean it's not
Well, that's not a real scenario. You can potentially have a really big.
Oh,
penis
this is
or a really small
Groundhog
one.
Day.
But you
That's not a
can't-
question. Having said that, I'd prefer...
Okay, if you have an anus, where do you pee from?
What?
Your mouth.
I guess you just have a calaca like a duck.
What's a calaca?
How good is that word? A calaca is a thing.
Oh, what is it?
Ducks pissing shit out of the same hole. It's called a calaca.
Oh.
You know how I learnt that? This is amazing. Just a
Were you
bunch of
having sex with
stoners
your
at the end of my bus once when I was coming back from high school.
course
And I
they
was
were.
sitting there being like, fuck, Reg, shouldn't have made so much, that doob so big. No, fuck you, that's how I roll. You're a fucking calaca, Mark. What the fuck's a calaca? It's that hole that a duck has that they piss and shit
You're a
out of.
calaca.
That's you.
That's a good call, bro.
That is a good.
It is a really insulting
Very knowledgeable
term.
young individuals.
I know.
Only in the eastern suburbs you get that kind of
Jeez,
insight.
thank God that the South Park was existed, because before that, the only way that you were able to know about anything was if you had an older brother.
Yeah.
That just became a surrogate older brother
Yeah.
for everybody on Earth. Do you know what a necrophiliac is?
South Park. Yeah, South Park corrupted
yeah,
a generation.
Look, the audience is also asking these questions, and let's be honest, I
Yeah.
have this question.
What do you want
So
now?
we're shitting from our pee hole? Is that what's happening?
God.
They want to know that. I told you this is gold.
Yeah, it is Twitch, I guess. I mean, the head.
Okay, yeah, you're pooing out of your pee hole like it's a toothpaste kind of.
No, I'd rather have an
Comes out.
anus.
But so it's like a snail poo. You wouldn't want the snail poo.
No, like look, having anus to pee is kind of like just being a woman, right? You don't have a dick.
No dick and an anus. So you have a calaca. You want the calaca.
What about sex? How's that working out in this situation?
Well, you got the micro penis.
Well,
so
I
that
guess you're
sex
just
is out.
always going to have to be pegged for the rest of your life, which I'm guessing you would like.
I mean, it doesn't.
What does that mean again?
Pegged.
Yeah.
Strap on.
Oh, yeah. Love it. Great.
Ali would love that.
Why would I love it?
I don't know. I can just picture you being into it. I think that Miss Love would be really scared of it.
I mean,
And I think that when Miss Love has sex, it's kind of like Michael Jackson having sex with a woman. He's being like, "Is it over?"
answer that.
Answer the man. Is it
Just
true
tell
or
me,
not?
when you jizz, do you go?
Okay, I'll settle this finally. Yes. Shamona.
Yeah, that's
Musically
that's your big
inclined.
power move.
Oh God.
Do you think that those were sex sounds?
What do you mean in his life?
Now that I think about it, I think
Did you?
that was sexiness to him.
Did you? Okay, not to get all Netflix on it, but did you guys watch Finding Neverland?
Yeah, I watched it.
It was disturbing.
And I think that it's all bullshit.
I don't.
Yeah, no, you're probably right.
It wasn't. I couldn't have been. It was so
man,
disturbing.
come on.
dude. The shit they.
Thriller.
Yeah, I know. It's,
Sorry,
What?
we've got the most important question.
What?
Jordan, do you support the Labour Party or the Liberal Party?
dude, it's getting stupid out
Well,
there. The green.
I think
He's
it's
a greenie.
the great words of Ali's favourite comment on my YouTube channel of all time. Liberals suck mining dick, Labour sucks Muslim dick. Both of them fuck us in the end.
That was a genuine comment on one of his videos. Can you imagine?
And I'm
being
pretty
that
sure it
guy?
was by Miss Love. It was probably, if you go back, it's Forest Hill.
I mean, to be honest, that would have been. I would have been like, he's really speak to me like 3 years ago. But now I'm just like, oh, it's too much, isn't it? Oh, now I'm just a Greens mum. But like 3 years ago, I've been like, finally, common sense
But like a guy that is
by
Bill
Forest
Shorten
Hill.
is Muslim.
Yeah.
But like a person
Bill.
that genuinely believes that, that's a funny existence.
Well, it was me not long ago, but yeah. I mean, there are funnier existences, but it is a funny existence. I'll give you that.
What's funnier?
Like
Voting for Jackie Lambie or voting for Clive Palmer?
Clive. Jackie Lambie's got some good points. Clive.
Yeah, but Clive's got some good points.
What's one?
I suppose the difference is that Jackie actually enacts them.
Dude, Jackie stopped the union, the whole...
Yeah, Clive wouldn't have done that.
Exactly. And like, what's one of Clive's good points? Discount on Humpty...
All I'm saying is Queensland's mad. And he's
not a
right.
No, he's not. Brisbane's
me
mad.
on that.
Brisbane's man.
Where is it?
Okay. You got me. Yeah, actually, you got me.
Hey, and also, come on, Gold Coast.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I can't
No,
decide.
not yet. No. I think we can all agree. If you're from the Gold Coast at the moment right now, you just... Please answer me this. If you look out your window right now, is there a midget trying to sell themselves for sexual favors? Is that
You know what my beef? You know what my beef is? Can I have a really
What?
esoteric beef?
Doubt.
Why are we getting kicked out?
It's over.
That was that was spicy.
Oh, bullshit. That was fine. You can say, what? Was she say little people? Little persons? Is that what she said?
Yeah, Ali.
It's fine.
I
Just
don't
like
wanna
your
engage
dick.
in this, but I think that
Owned.
isn't dwarf like supposed to be the act politically?
Once
correct?
again, pays out
No,
Seinfeld,
it can't be
no
dwarf.
problem.
That's the name in like fantasy books. That can't be the name. It
Can't be that. It's
No,
it's not. It's
midget,
little.
Midget is not okay.
I think
Really?
Please stop saying that.
No, I think it is okay. But anyway, can I just
Wee man?
express? Can I express my really esoteric beef with the Gold Coast?
Yeah, go for it.
It's like really disconcerting to me and out of place that on the Gold Coast, on the Strip, there is one sole Irish bar that is like, quintessential, the rolling hills of Belfast Irish, like the most Irish bar in the whole goddamn world.
And Bono from U2's had a drink there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
basically on the beach of the Gold Coast, just surrounded by like 3 giant dildo skyscrapers. It's just strange to me. It doesn't. It like if there's one place an Irish bar doesn't belong. It's there. It's just like have like a beach burrito bar or like have
You're
out.
right. It's such a weird mix
It's
of
like-
Home and Away and the movie Tron.
Yeah, it's just strange. It's just like patties right on the beach. It's like
I love
Why-
how Jordan, you
why-
always encourage Miss Love musings. Like, hey, that is right. That is a remarkably impressive gripe that you have about this.
Damn
world.
Don't you
Straight,
think
it's
though?
back in
Miss
me.
Love's
but I don't
Miss
know.
Love's very good at telling it like it is.
Male Jackie Lambie.
Dude, I'm just telling you. It was, and it just doesn't work. I don't want to be sweating at 40 degrees. Just come off the beach in my boardies. The first thing that clicks into my mind isn't a pint of Guinness and a Guinness pie. Like, surely the advantage of being near the beach is like, I'll have a margarita or a lager, and how about this?
Watermelon, that'd be
Watermelon, and how about this? I don't know,
Sorry,
sashimi.
My beer just exploded.
Skull.
Completely irrelevant. No, I am not
skull.
skulling.
Yeah, skull it.
Skull.
Go on.
Skull.
I can't.
Come on.
If he skulls it, you have to give us money.
Yeah,
If
skull
he
it.
doesn't,
Have a go.
withdraw
Have a go.
all
Come
of
on.
your money out of
Sure.
protest.
Sure. Come on, skull.
Skull. Skull.
Boo. No, keep going.
Boo.
Another chance.
Deport
Why do you
him.
want to?
Skull.
Boo.
Skull.
You
Skull.
You
Skull.
suck, Ali.
Skull. Skull.
Skull. Oh, he's a
Skull.
legend again.
Skull.
How about that?
Skull. Now
At
I
the
like
exact
it.
moment the beer went in his
Skull.
mouth.
Skull. Boo.
Yeah, I can't.
Now that,
Aye.
ladies and
It's
gentlemen,
content.
is the best finish to a pod we've ever had.
I haven't still.
Ali
Okay,
doing
maybe I'll.
two very wussy attempts at a skull,
All right,
getting
what-
genuinely
Scowl,
sad.
scowl, chug, 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 chug. He's nearly there. Scowl.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Give
Drink
us.
responsibly. All right. Well, thank you so much for participating in that, great celebration of alcohol, just for fun purposes, of course, and fun being not sculling.
I wanna
obviously.
get
It's
smacked in the
That was
ass
an example
again.
of what not to do. Of course you do.
No. Drinking a lot of alcohol can be fun.
Hey, but I.
Yep. It can if it's non-alcoholic. We'll see you next week.